Austin is a great city with lots of great suburbs. Today, we're going to compare Austin, Texas versus San Marcos, Texas, which sometimes kind of gets lumped in as a suburb of Austin because of the proximity and the massive growth both towns have seen. But today I'm here to tell you San Marcos is not just some random suburb of Austin like your Buda and Kyle type areas. San Marcos is so much more than that. It's its own town with its own culture, music scene, and identity that just so happens to be in proximity to Austin. If you've been watching this channel for a while, welcome back. And if you're new on this channel, we talk about all things New Braunfels and the surrounding areas. If you find value in this video, we ask that you hit that subscribe button so that you can continue to learn about this amazing area of Texas. We really appreciate it. Thinking about relocating to the San Marcos area? Give me a call or shoot me a text. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have, and I love it when folks reach out to me from this channel. My name is Russell Monroe, and I'm a real estate agent in New Braunfels, Texas, just down the road from San Marcos. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why, if you're planning a relocation to the Austin area, you should consider San Marcos as well. Let's get right into it. First off, if you've been watching for a while, yes, I did go Hollywood on you. I got the green screen. So no more looking at Halloween decorations and taxidermied squirrels in the background. We're going to class these YouTube videos up a little bit from now on. All right, the first and most obvious difference, I'm just going to throw it out there, it's the size, of course. According to the 2020 census, Austin proper's population was just under 1 million at 961,855. Compare that to San Marcos, where we had just over 67,000 in the 2020 census. It's a considerably smaller town. Now, so clearly, we're a smaller town here in San Marcos, but I will say that we're a large enough town to not just have the stores that you would expect, to actually have varieties to choose from in those different stores. So you got your Lowe's versus your Home Depot, Target versus Walmart, multiple movie theaters, and there's 2 outlet malls that would pretty much provide any type of shopping experience that you're looking for. Now, clearly, Austin is going to have more options for stores just by virtue of being such a large town, and even having a few shopping malls. And on the flip side of that is, when you're in a city that large, a lot of those options aren't going to be very conveniently close to you. It can take easily 30 minutes to get from one side of Austin to the other, more than that during heavy traffic, versus when you talk about a town the size of San Marcos, you're really never farther than 15 minutes away from anywhere in town. Much like Austin, San Marcos is home to a large public university. Texas State University is home to about 38,000 students. San Marcos isn't a total college town, though. I like to think about San Marcos as the best parts of a college town, with the lively bar scene, music scene, great restaurants, and a great art scene. But it also boasts great neighborhoods for raising a family, and we'll get to more on that later. There are, of course, going to be way more restaurants and bars to choose from in Austin, but for a town of our size, we do have a lot of great options in San Marcos. What I love about eating out here is that there's tons of variety of different types of restaurants to choose from. And there's also a lot of locally owned places that aren't chain restaurants, very similar to downtown Austin and a lot of the restaurant scene there. And if you're into the bar scene, San Marcos is a great town for you, with a really nice bar district downtown near the campus. But if that isn't your thing, San Marcos still offers tons of variety in the way of parks, recreation, and lifestyle. So how do the two cities compare for cost of living? As far as groceries, dining out, and gas, they're going to be pretty similar. Healthcare is going to be pretty similar costs as well, but Austin does have a lot more options in the way of hospital systems to choose from. There is one hospital in San Marcos with like another 3 or 4 probably within a 20-minute drive. Now, where San Marcos does get way more affordable than Austin is when we start to talk about housing. In 2022, Austin has a median sales price for a single-family residential home of $578,000. When you compare that to the $374,000 in San Marcos, you can see it's a lot more affordable. Now, you can certainly spend well above the median home sales price here in San Marcos, but what that's going to usually get you is a larger lot, or maybe something close to the river, or maybe a larger home than what a similar price point would get you in Austin. So there's way more value for your investment here. Okay, so when it comes to finding a place to call home, we all want to feel safe. According to neighborhoodscouts.com, Austin and San Marcos both rank pretty close to the state average for violent crime per 1,000 residents, with Austin being a little bit higher at 4.88 versus 4.23 in San Marcos. Property crime is where San Marcos really starts to separate in terms of crime, as Austin has 75% more property crime than San Marcos. Austin has 38 property crimes per 1,000 residents versus San Marcos coming in at just over 21, which is right underneath the state average. I know schools are very important to some of you, so I always recommend that you go to greatschools.org or niche.com and review the specific districts and specific schools in the areas you're looking at. Austin is a very large city with a lot of different school districts plus private schools that all vary widely in their online reviews. Now, San Marcos, on the other hand, only has one school district, the aptly named San Marcos CISD. Now, most of their elementary schools have decent ratings online, but some are better than others, so be sure to check before buying. So what about traffic? Now, according to TomTom.com, Austin has the 21st worst ranked traffic congestion in the nation, coming in actually better than Houston, but worse than San Antonio and Dallas. San Marcos, on the other hand, not quite big enough to crack those rankings, so I'm just going to go ahead and share my personal experiences with you. Now, if you're traveling to Austin daily, you can expect some significant congestion on 35, especially as you get closer to Austin and the Kyle Buda areas. But if you're staying local, most of the time it really isn't bad at all. You're going to have your 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Slowdowns around town, like anywhere else, but nothing nearly as bad as a major metro. It's also super rare for traffic to be at an absolute standstill in San Marcos, especially on the highways. Most of the time, you just run into some congestion that's going to slow you down a little bit for a little while. Now, in my experience, the layout of the highways in Austin are some of the worst in Texas. The reason being is that your major interstate is just running north to south, and they really haven't done a good job of building loops or bypasses that locals can use to avoid getting on the major highway. They've tried to add some toll roads to bypass Austin, but they are so far out of the way that they actually rarely save time for people. Taxes are another really important discussion to have when comparing Austin versus San Marcos. As I've said before, property taxes can really vary widely in different counties and different cities here in Texas. The reason being is that school districts, counties, cities, emergency service districts, and utility districts all can levy property taxes. So you could live conceivably in the same city, different school district, and have different property taxes. The average property tax rate in Austin is 2.23%, compared to San Marcos at 2.16%. That's pretty close, but when you look at what the median sales prices are, that's where you really start to see the savings on property tax bills add up. Now let's just say, for example, you bought a median price home in Austin that's $578,000. The property tax bill at 2.23% on that could be over $13,000 a year. That's over $1,000 a month. San Marcos, on the other hand, if you bought a home at the median sales price of $342,000, your property tax bill would be just over $7,000 and a savings of over $5,000 a year. And what about recreation? One of the big draws for folks moving to Austin is the Greenbelt, the hiking and biking, and Town Lake. Well, guess what? We've got the crystal clear San Marcos River here that is perfect for paddleboarding, swimming, tubing, and fishing. We also have the Purgatory Creek area here, which is 830 plus acres of hiking and biking trails for you. There's also the Blanco Vista neighborhood in North San Marcos that's actually super convenient for commutes to Austin, but is right next to the 5 Mile Dam Park. 5 Mile Dam Park is right along the Blanco River, and it offers swimming, fishing, paddleboarding. As you can see, San Marcos is a great city with a lot of similarities to Austin, but a much lower cost of living. Again, my name is Russell. I'm a local agent here in San Marcos. If you're considering relocating to the Austin area or the San Marcos area, feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you might have. And make sure you hit that subscribe button to continue to learn more about what this great town has to offer, and we really appreciate that.